Hey, what's up, Buttercup? It's Alexandria with the Girls Solution. And I wanted to drop in because I know these are super scary times and just talk about where your mindset is. I know it can be super scary with everything going on, with seeing the news, just not knowing what's where your mind really should be and like how to stay very high vibe. For some of you, it's actually your first time ever seeing me, and you're probably like, who is this crazy woman? Why is she showing up on my timeline? And I wanted to give you a little bit about me and a little bit about what I'm doing to keep myself very high vibe, even though I'm in isolation, because it is honestly very important that we just reach out to each other and check in on each other and just keep passing along high vibe messages. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about me and why I got to my mission of wanting to affect and inspire and empower a million women. So my backstory is like not too long ago, a few years ago, I was in crushing debt, and I was not dealing with my depression. It was an everyday hard to fight situation for me. And then one day I just got to this point where I couldn't even get out of bed. I didn't have the will to get out of bed. And I had this huge idea that once I got out of debt, it would all just get better. I didn't really see how my mindset and how I really needed to work on me would help. And then when I got to this day, like I just couldn't get out of bed. And I just stayed there and let the world and life just wash over me. One day I finally got to that point where I was like, I need to do something. I can't stay like this. I need to get out of bed and figure out how I can start working on me, because I can't go to work and earn money if I'm constantly miserable and just giving out a very low vibration. So I got to this point where um, I started realizing, okay, I needed to feed myself better messages. So I was going online pretty much every day and looking up feel good quotes and just statements that made me feel better. I wasn't really putting a lot of emotion into it, but it felt silly at the time. But I just was like, okay, we're going to try this. We're going to go balls to the wall and just do it. And I was really just every day I would wake up and I'd read some good quotes and just practice a little gratitude. And as time went on, I was just feeling a little bit better day to day, but wasn't getting there. I was realizing that it was causing a shift in my mindset. And I didn't know what they were necessarily called at that point in time, but then I started looking into it and I was like, okay, if this is starting to make me feel better, what are better ones? And then I stumbled across a website that was talking about affirmations. And I was like, well, what's an affirmation? And then I was like, oh, that's basically what I've been doing, but I haven't been doing it with an intentional manner. Wasn't finding ones that resonated with me, and I wasn't finding ones that combated the negative views that I had on myself. So when I sat down with this website, I was like, okay, what am I really supposed to be doing? And I started going through everything that I felt about negatively about myself and everything I felt negatively about my life. And I started just comparing those to positive statements that would be the opposite. And then that got me to this point where I started building up a list of really high vibe statements to just get myself through the day. And that's pretty much how I ended up with most of my affirmations. That's something I still do to this day. Actually, throughout this crisis, something that I found is extremely helpful for me was that I'm going every single day, I'm writing a letter to myself. I talk a little bit about what's going on that's not necessarily that the best thing, things that I feel like I can have an opportunity to fix, but I'm also just loading it up with great things for my mindset, great things with great goals. And I talk about my goals like if they're already done, they're already mine. And just every single day I go back and I read the previous day's one. So I get this feeling of, and I'm training my brain to know that like this shall pass, this that I have so much waiting for me on the other side, that I have all these goals that I'm going to get through, which is a huge driver for me. Because then I wake up the next day and I'm like, and when I read it, I'm like, okay, if these are the goals that I have, if these are things that are going to be mine, what do I have to do to get there? And it's not turning it into a productivity contest, because I'm still working I'm still working remotely for my day job while doing this. So I don't feel like I need to have a productivity contest with myself or with anyone else. I don't feel like I need to learn a new language. I don't feel like I need to be changing my entire life around or Marie Kondo my condo. So I'm not suggesting you do that, but I am saying keep goals in mind of things that you were trying to achieve in 2020. We all made those resolutions at the beginning of the year, and we didn't expect this, but you shouldn't give up on them. You should really just give yourself something to focus on. And each day, maybe you do one thing that steps you towards it. Maybe you start thinking through the plan that you're going to do when you're able to go back outside. Maybe you just start setting up your mindset for, I can do this, regardless of if I only have 2 weeks left to the year when they finally let us out. I can do this. I will do this. This is my resolution for 2020. I'm going to do this. I'm going to survive this. And and I really want to say, when you do feel like you need to be super productive, don't. Because there are so many people out there saying you're going to be less of a human being if you don't get to the end of this crisis with productivity out the yin yang. And frankly, those people are making me mad because it is an accomplishment to survive. It is an accomplishment to thrive, but it's also an accomplishment to survive in this climate, because all the negativity that is being thrown at you daily, having to worry about family members, people that you can't see, your job, just the finances, it is an huge accomplishment and kudos to survive this, and to survive this with a mindset and personality of you made it through, and you have still all these beautiful things that you're going to continue to do, that you're going to keep doing. And you just have, and I appreciate every single person that is just focusing on that and focusing on their health. So those are the things that I've been doing for my mindset. I hope you're having some amazing things that you're doing for your own mindset while you're in here, to just keep away from the negativity. Like, one thing that I also do is I don't really watch the news. I'll look for highlights and then I get off. And I think that's something super important that everyone should be doing. Like, they'll barrage you with, or like hit you hard with everything that's negative that's going on. And it's just like traffic. When you see there was an accident, everybody wants to slow down to see if there was any blood. And honestly, don't slow down for that blood. Get in, get out, and then go focus on something super positive. A friend's great post on Facebook, grandkids, friends and family, like anything that you can focus on that's positive, do it. Those are the things that are going to raise you up and keep you going through this time. That's really what I wanted to say. If you feel that you need a little bit more help with keeping up your vibrations, and you want some great affirmations that just to look into, I do have a free guide at manifestwithalex.com that you can go ahead and grab at any time. All right, see you guys later.